Okay, welcome to Stringman Guitars. Temperature has risen above 32 degrees outside. We have ourselves a blacktop Fender Stratocaster, 2 humbuckers. It has some really flattened out frets in the cowboy chord area, and then also in the middle of the frets up here. See if we can get a good look at some of the areas. You can kind of see it there. You come up here, you can really see it there. So we're going to do a level, fret level and crown. The only alteration that he's done to it is the Graphtec saddles. He also says that the 5-way is bad, noisy, whatever. Let's see if I could clean it. If not, I have another one we can throw in there. But usually noisy pots and switches are typically from not being used, or at least not enough. So you get all the DNA off of this, take the neck off, get started on it. So thank you. We'll be back here shortly. Okay, we've done our level. You see all the tops of the frets are flat. Got our tape down. We checked everything with the fret rocker to make sure that there was nothing high or low. Excuse me, still trying to kick this cold. And this is the implement of destruction, Uncle Stu. That takes off the material. Has safe edges on it. There you go. And then we'll go to the diamond files. This, by the way, this is a one-directional file. Can only go one direction. The diamond files, like this here, has 300 grit. I'm sorry, that's 150, then 300 grit. Those are, you can go back and forth with them. So this one I have to do one side of the neck, then I have to turn the neck around and do the other side of the neck. And then from there you go to sandpaper, 400, 600, 800, 1200, fret erasers, 800 and 1200, just because they don't take much off, even though they have a number. And then go with some silver polish, which, even though these are nickel frets, we'll use the silver polish, and that will clear things up, make it shine like new. So stand by, we're going to take care of the rough stuff. Okay, here we have our finished, mirrored, shined, recrowned, beautiful frets with plenty of fret left over. That is the way you do it. Welcome back to Stringman Guitars. Here we are in the underground lair with a Fender Blacktop Series HH Stratocaster. We've taken the flattened out frets and we leveled and crowned them. So the neck is done. The next thing we have to do is there's a switch, the 5-way switch evidently is making noise. So hold on 1 second and we'll get that set up. Okay, I took my 11 screws out, and as you see, we're going to have to do some defunctifying to this. But I'm hearing some noise in the switch, but he said that it totally cut out on him using the neck pickup, but it works all the way through. Okay, so I'm going to guess it probably just needs clean, but I'm not convinced I'm the first one in here. So let's take a look and see what is in here. Huh. No, it doesn't look like I am the first one in here, but anyhow, although it could be. These, even in the video, these caps that are in here, peculiar looking to me. These are the Fender pickups. It is a good switch. I think the problem is just the corrosion on the switch, because yeah, there's the let me put this back in here. This screw and this screw and this screw have they're rusty, so I'm gonna say that he probably sweats a lot in this thing. So if I just spray this, I think we're going to be good, because all the wiring looks right. Those caps look weird, but they may be stock, I'm not sure. But I'm going to spray it and just see if that eliminates the problem. If it doesn't, I could certainly throw another switch. I picked up a couple because I ran out. That's what's in there now. So I think that's what I'm going to try. Just see if we can. Because oftentimes the reason electronics don't work is because they get a lack of use. So if it's not used, it's not working, and it's a good quality switch, then that would lead me to believe that it's probably just because it's always in one position or another. I'm even noticing as I use it, I'm hearing less popping coming out of my little noise maker. So anywho, that's what we're going to try, so stand by. Okay, we used some of the good old Radio Shack. The only thing that's left of Radio Shack is a can of Radio Shack tuner cleaner I bought years ago. It's not shorting out anywhere there. I'm getting everything I'm supposed to get. So I'm just going to put the screws back in there and string it back up again after I clean it a little bit. But yeah, I don't think that there's a I don't think it's a bad switch at all. The pots actually I found were a little noisy. I shot them as well, so we should be good to go. A little clean up and stick the neck back on, strings, and we'll do a setup. So be back. Okay, got the neck back on it, got her a little bit shined up, and we're going to go with some Ernie Ball 946 hybrid strings. Let's get to it. Ah, rats, I didn't put a new garbage bag in the garbage can. Have to reach in and get that bag out. Anyhow, how you guys doing where you're at? I don't want to hear it from anybody in Orlando, because I know you're enjoying the weather. But we had 67 degrees yesterday, and it's dropping through the day to end up at a nice low 30 with snow showers. Isn't that nice? Mr. Weatherman, what are you doing to my plans? So even though this thing is still set to well, it's got 5 strings locking it down basically. I still put the what do they call it? Guitar grease from Uncle Stu in the nut. Because nobody wants to hear a little ping when they're tuning their guitar on stage. Little ting. I hate that sound. So, note to the wise, when we put strings on, we always leave the ends on until we're done doing the setup, in case we have to take the string out. For some reason, you have something to work with. If I had another light on, I could see what I was doing. There we go. Let's see here. You guys follow the football. I guess I'm supposed to be sad that the Steelers lost. They're out of the playoffs. I'm just glad that football season's almost over, so we can start watching cars go around in circles. Daytona 500 just around the corner. Oh, and I saw that they're unloading for the Rolex at 24 at Daytona today, so that's cool. Sign of spring. Love to go to Daytona, but my cash isn't there, so if you guys want to send me some cash, that'd be great. Go to Daytona. I'll wear your company's t-shirt. I'll send you pictures. But yeah, no, I'm not going to send you pictures. Cash to go to Daytona. Yeah, I'm even starting to lose interest in NASCAR because it isn't the tough sport that it used to be. It's got the old guys dead or retired, and it's just a bunch of pretty boys racing cars around. Not the tough guys that I grew up with. That's for another argument. What do you think? NASCAR sport or activity, or just something rednecks do. To see somebody get hurt and say, "Yahoo! Give me a bear." That was good. I don't know. I think it's a sport. You ever see those guys? They have got to be able to have the stamina to run the kind of laps that they do at the speeds and temperatures. I get tired out just running to the grocery store. And again, that's not a sport either. I think I'm running out of batteries. I think I could have put less turns on this one. So what else to talk about for two more strings? I guess the Congress is finally going to pay the military. The government's going to pay the military. And they sit on their ass and smoke cigars and get prostitutes and spend our money away. That sucks. Put people out in the battlefield, shut down the government. But they don't take a pay cut. Nah, they're important people. They got expensive mansions to pay for, expensive cars, different girls, different cities. But the military are out there risking their ass. Oh no, am I not allowed to say that? They're not worth getting paid. I think I screwed that up. We're going to back that up before we get a kink in it. Anyhow, that's why you don't cut the strings off. The second you think you have enough string on the tree, or the post, and you start winding it up, you realize, heck, this is a plain string, it's going to slide on me. I don't want bro to be out on the stage. And all of a sudden his tuning slipped because his tech didn't bother to put enough winds on the string. Yeah, there we go. Notice I didn't put the guitar grease down at the bridge. Two reasons. One, the bridge is fixed. It's not going to use the whammy bar. The other thing is, he changed over to Graphtec saddles, so you really don't need it there, especially since you're not going to be doing anything with a trim arm. One more string. I'm looking at Reverend basses. Saw a guy working on one, and they're a damn fine looking bass. Anybody out there play Reverend basses? I don't want to be the same guy that everybody else is that plays a Fender P bass or jazz bass. I don't dig the pointy basses. It's something different. I was thinking of going with G&L, but G&L is, that's just basically what old Leo did whenever he left Fender to make better basses. I did not notice that. This string tree is loose. Started tightening that string up, saw it start to lift. Alright, so anyhow, we're going to bring it up to pitch, and I'll be back. Okay, so we got her set up, or actually, I'm sorry, take two. Okay, we got her strung up. At this point, I'm just going to let it rest and see what we have. I'll probably check in again tomorrow or tonight and see where it's sitting, because it hasn't had any pressure on it since we just put it all back together again. So we'll check back with you in a day or half a day or a day. How about that? Thanks again. Alright, guitar has set for a day. Let's go ahead and see where everything leveled out. I'll find my point 0.010 gauge. There we go. We're going to check between where the neck meets the body and at the 10th or 7th fret. See what kind of relief we have. And we have exactly the relief we're looking for. This is the relief you're looking for. Okay. So let's check our string height. How's everybody doing? Ooh, on 4 64s all the way across. And that's not quite. That is. That's not quite. So, we've got to raise a couple of strings up. Let me find my string raising. Let's see here. We're going to be American on this, I'm going to guess. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to raise the E string. And also, in all my videos, I kind of tell you guys, make sure that your bridge saddles are sitting level. It keeps the strings in the slot like they should be. Actually, that one wasn't even touching the deck. Okay, they're all level, and I think I got them where I want them. Let's see. 4, and a little bit more there. All thumbs being it's so cold. About 0.4. Get in the right saddle Vic. Still not quite 4. All right. We're at 4. We're not at 4. Isn't this interesting? We're at 4. We're at 4. We're not at 4. Still not quite at 4. There we go. And we're at 4, and we're not quite at 4. Nice thing about using the string height to measure instead of the old way where you had your 9.5-inch radius tool. Where are they? Oh, they're there. Whenever you're using your radius tools, it's a matter of touching it, touching the strings, and you tend to push one or the other down whenever you're trying to check it. But whenever you get the same measurement all the way across, you set your radius. And so we're going to go for intonation. And you always do it at the playing position. My friend Dave says, oh, it doesn't matter. Well, I'd like to get it as close as we can. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to bore you with all that, but basically, if the string is flat at the 12th fret versus, tune it at the open position, and then you check it at the 12th fret. If it's in tune in both places, your intonation set. If it's flat at the 12th fret and in tune at the nut or open, and let's say it's flat, and that means your saddle has to move towards the nut. If it's sharp, it's got to move towards the back of the guitar. That's basically how that works. So I'm going to do that real quick. I think from when I checked it, well, we changed gauge. So I'm going to pause it right here, check that real quick, and be back when I get it all set up. Be right back. Thank you. Okay, as for the noisy jack or noisy switch, just need a little bit cleaned up. So, if you guys could like us on Facebook, it's Stringman Guitars. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be a true blessing to me if you guys would do that. And girls, if you are in the greater Pittsburgh area and you need some work done and you don't want to pay for a Guitar Center guy to do it, or if you, just need a simple setup, or fret work or whatever, new switch, new pots, new output jacks, any of that stuff. Really the only thing I don't do is finish work. I don't have the equipment or the expertise. But as far as mechanics, if it's fixable, I can do it. Basses, guitars, acoustics, whatevs. And so yeah, if you could look me up, always looking to take on new clients. And we will have a new road-worn Stratocaster in, I believe, next week. So you guys and girls, keep tuned in. I can't wait until it's summer. I'm gonna set up a guitar while we are doing some grilling or something like that, because nobody wants to be down here in a cold basement all the time. We're going to call this Blacktop Stratocaster set up and done. You guys have a great Thursday night and rest of your January. And remember, every day you wake up in January and February and March, closer you're getting to warm weather. So, peace, and may your God go with you.